All right, so what to expect in the next 60 minutes. We're going to go ahead and get started today on what is Prisma Access Insights. We will then be covering key use cases, visibility monitoring, and learning. Then we will be discussing getting the most out of Prisma Access Insights, and we will end today with a Q&A session. A quick reminder to everybody that at any point that you have any questions, please feel free to enter that on the Q&A chat box, and we'll make sure to address any of your questions at any point. And also a quick reminder, of course, that next week's webinar will be Cloud Managed Prisma Access, which will be happening on Wednesday, January 19th at 8 a.m. Pacific time. Also, just wanted to let everybody know your Prisma Access Customer Success tour guides are the following. Myself as your Customer Success Engineer, Wendy. Also your Prisma Access Customer Success Engineer is Kuram. And we have also our Insights Product Manager here, Sati. So feel free to ask any questions, and she'll be able to address those questions on the Q&A box, and so will Kuram. Again, just wanted to give you guys a quick overview of your tour guides. And of course, like we said, live community tech talks. All right, great. I'm gonna go ahead and get this started. I'm gonna hand this over to my colleague, Kuram, who will be able to take this over from here on.
Thank you, Wendy. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to another great session of our winter webinar series. So today we are discussing about the enhanced monitoring with the Prisma Access Insights. Prisma Access Insights give you the advanced visibility and monitoring. Using this, administrators can view maps with the detailed information on the deployment status of their remote networks, mobile users, and service connections. Prisma Access also shows network utilization statistics to measure the bandwidth usage and users' connectivity to determine the trends, current conditions, allowing a deep dive analysis of the app and user activity. It provides the proactive assistance. You can use this information and using those alerts and actionable items and deep dive into this using a real-time analytics. And it's a purpose-built solution, which is specifically built for the Prisma Access, which is integrated with the cloud management app. So one app which you get all those information. Why Prisma Access Insights? Admins and users lack the necessary visibility which is needed to ensure that infrastructure is running smoothly, and if there is any issue, where the issue lies. The IT teams and the admins, they need a real-time mechanism to be proactively alerted for the service issues and actionable insights for the remediation. The lack of real-time data and a comprehensive visibility across all networks entities in a single source of truth hinders the response system for the end users. Advanced visibility into the resource utilization, allocation to plan for the right license uptake to ensure no disruption of services. So before I go and discuss different dashboards and capabilities of Prisma Access Insights, what you will be getting, let's have a look how you can access the Prisma Access Insights. Hub apps.paloalto.com is a single place where you can access the Palo Alto Network's cloud services and the apps for your organization. For the Prisma Access app on the hub, you can select insights to monitor your Prisma Access environment. To log into the hub and then the Prisma Access, you can use credentials which are associated with your Palo Alto Network's support account to log into the hub. And then you will log in, you can assign check different roles there and assign different teams. There are different in access management. If you're using cloud managed or Panorama Managed, either way. Hub is a single place where you can go log in and you will see there a Prisma Access app. You click on it and it will show you the Prisma Access Insights. And if you're using the Panorama, in the Panorama, you will go to your Panorama tab under the Cloud Services. You will see their Insights and Autonomous tab. Once you click on there, this link will also take you to the hub, to the same link. The Prisma Access app is only available to the Prisma Access users, and you can find it on the hub, as I said. Um, the account administrator role on the hub is automatically assigned to the first user from your organization to register on the Palo Alto Network Support portal. However, other users can also have this role, and there is no limit to the number of users to which you can assign this role. An account administration can access your organization's app, and you must be an account admin to assign roles to the other users. Let's have a quick Prisma Access Insights overview. Once you click on the Prisma Access app and go to this Insights on the left, you will see a few of the options and click on Insights. So this will be the uh, bird's eye view of your entire environment. This page will be showing up. Prisma Access gives you to continuously monitor Prisma Access environment. When an event or the status requires your attention, Prisma Access sends you an alert notification so that you can quickly pinpoint the issues that you can fix. It also gives you the visibility into the that fixes the Prisma Access team is working on, notifications, you will get alerts and everything. You have multiple dashboards which you can focus to view your different deployments, your alerts, and Prisma Access infrastructure. I will go into detail in each of those dashboards. And there are some filters data you want to select or different time range. You can see the time range selection filter for the details on the setting of the time range in all the dashboard that which shows the mobile users data. Connected method um, filter which allows you to select whether you want to see the data for only for the users using explicit proxy to connect to the Prisma Access, or only the data for using the Global Protect or the both of them. You can adjust and toggle the view to evaluate the trends over time, um, and for the different angle. You can drill down to the detail to specific users, sites, where you have concern on the Prisma Access. Summary dashboard. This is a default landing page designed for the which gives you the high-level view of overall Prisma Access environment. Once you log in into the Prisma Access Insights and you click on the summary, you will see this one. There are different widgets on this section, but you can see here two tabs: Summary and the Map View. Under Summary, you can see here uh, Alert Status, which shows you you can view all the open alerts by severity for the remote networks, mobile users, and service connections. And the legends on the bottom right, you can see here, these are aggregated for the critical, high, medium, and open alerts across all these three severities. You can view all these, and if you click on this, view all the alerts, it will take to the alerts dashboard. I will discuss the alert dashboard in detail. Connectivity status widget displays the number of remote network sites, mobile users connected in real time out of the total deployed, and the number of service connections that are online as of the last minute. It also displays the percentage increase or decrease in the number of connected sites for mobile users and service connection as of the last time range, whatever you have selected. For the mobile users, you can see uh, the currently connected mobile users out of the total license as of the last minute. And if you select the explicit proxy and the global protect, this information will be shown the combined number of currently connected mobile users. And you can see here the Prisma Access location. This will just display the overall network status of the Prisma Access location for remote networks and mobile users. The data in this widget comes from the actual Prisma Access locations where you have activated your gateway or service connections. And these charts and these widgets are the color coded. Red indicates that all instances in these locations are down. Green indicates that all the instances in these locations are up and running, and the yellow indicates that at least one or more instances are down, which needs your attention. The data for the mobile users is filtered on the option you select in the connect method. As I said, on the top you will see here the connect method, which is either you want to connect it on the global protect or the express proxy. And the licensing expiration dates. You can monitor your remote network mobile users license expiration dates through this widget. This widget shows you how long before the license expired. The license expiration is the only applicable for the super tenant selected. It shows that the license status for the remote networks, mobile user, and service connection licenses that the tenant holds. Since the subtenants inherits the supertenant, so licenses where they belong to, so they're not licensed separately. So you don't need to see that information. So whatever your tenant is information is, it will be shown up there. And this is the connect method I was talking about in the previous slides. You will see here the summary tab, the connect method. When you drop down, it shows you explicit proxy and the global protect. You can select or deselect based on your deployment type. And you will see in all the dashboards that show the mobile users data, the connect method filter, which allows you to select whether you want to filter the data only for the users using explicit proxy to connect to the Prisma Access, or only the data for the users using Global Protect. In order for the explicit proxy related data to be displayed in the Prisma Access Insight, you must divide your mobile users license between the users you want to secure with GP or Global Protect and the users you want to secure with an explicit proxy. Explicit proxy uses your existing mobile users license. Custom time range. The time shown in the Prisma Access Insights is localized, so you will be able to filter based on the local time for your region. Data is fetched every minute, but data points down in the most histogram where according to the time range selected. For your convenience, Prisma Access Insights lets you pick the time range from a few predefined ranges or let you configure your own date and time range too. You can use any predefined filters, which like last 15 minutes, 1 hour, 24 hours, 7 days, and 30 days. And then there's a custom range also where you can select the custom time interval, date and time. For example, here, like if you select a custom, it will open up the calendar. You can pick up your date, time, start range, and end range. On a summary dashboard, you can also see the combined traffic distribution. This widget allows you to see the fraction of your data that goes through the internal as well as the fraction of your data that is internal network traffic, which goes to the internal apps for the security clearance. Internal apps are those that are running in your data center or in your HQ or in the cloud. So this graph on the x-axis, it displays the time, and the traffic is displayed on the y-axis. The data shown on the x-axis will be for every 3 minutes when the time range selected is last 15 minutes, or 1 hour, or 3 hours. The data shown in this widget is only for the currently selected supertenants and subtenants. You can hover your mouse cursor over any bar to see the tooltip that indicates that traffic distribution among mobile users. Once you bring your mouse cursor here, it will show up all the information. This indicates the traffic distribution among mobile users, internet, mobile users, internal network, remote network, internal networks at any point of time within a selected time range. By default, the time range will be selected to 1 hour, and uh, Prisma Access locations, all locations will be selected. Even though connect method filter lets you select either the global protect or explicit proxy, the data displayed for the mobile user is specific to the GP connections only. It does not include any data for the explicit proxy connections. Another tab in the summary section, you see here the map view in the real time, which shows you status of all the Prisma Access locations on a map in the real time. You can hover your mouse on any of them and you can see the details about the nodes, the location, our remote site, the remote network site connectors, the service connections, and you can also see some of those useful information, which is user ID, user group, and IP address mapping. You can hover your mouse on any of those locations and you will get the pop dialog. You can click on that, user ID, user group, IP mappings at the bottom of the dialog. You can select the Prisma Access location, node type from the drop down, what you want to see, and the Prisma Access location filter is not taken into consideration when the node type is mobile users. You can also sort the list of the groups by toggling the arrow icon. Once you submit the information, you will see here all this user ID, IP mapping information will be available. If you select the groups, clicking on the Show User Group Mapping, it will display all the groups that are available in the site under All Users Groups. And if you click on a group, all users belonging to the group are displayed in the right pane. You can export this to CSV. Also, you see here a CSV button will be available. You can export the CSV file which contain entries for all the groups, even if they are not available in the UI. Some of them on different pages, but once you export, all the data will be exported. If you have any questions, please feel free to post in the Q&A. Remote networks. Remote network dashboard gives you the visibility to the remote network's health and the bandwidth consumption trends. You will see a summarized view of your remote networks deployment, which includes the top alerts that may require your attention, health of the tunnel sites, top trends of top sites, bandwidth utilization. And you can analyze the consumption patterns, bandwidth for all these sites. You'll get notified about the health of your sites and tunnels and all locations. So being an IT admin, you want to understand if any issues with your deployment, network deployment, you get notified. And you get all this information in the remote networks dashboard in the Prisma Access Insights. This is a very useful dashboard, and it has a further 3 tabs. You can see here, it's a monitoring summary, map view, and a site list. In a monitoring summary, this summary tab just shows you the summary of health of your remote networks, such as top open alerts, Prisma Access location status, sites, tunnel status, bandwidth utilization. This page is further divided into different 4 sections. You can see here the top left gives the information about the top 5 open alerts by severity. And the map section shows you remote network deployed Prisma Access location, sites and tunnel status shows you the higher number of the tunnels in the remote number of sites, as maybe one or more remote network sites has more than one tunnel and termination nodes. The site status of the tunnel depends on the status of the tunnel between the site and the remote network node. Tunnel status has down state when the tunnel is down and up when the tunnel is up. And you can also see here the top most active Prisma Access locations, which enables you to understand the Prisma Access location that have the most bandwidth consumption. You can see the uh, bandwidth utilization, peak trend over time, and which site is approaching to the maximum bandwidth. You can also see in these last two widgets, you can see here if the site has allocated a lower bandwidth, it may not show up on in the peak bandwidth graph. And with sites which are approaching the maximum bandwidth, it can help you determine if the more bandwidth is needed to allocate for the site or the compute location. Remote networks map view. The map view gives you the bird's eye view of connectivity status of all your Prisma Access locations where remote networks are deployed. You can click on any of the map on the map, which will give you the further information about the health, consumption metrics in detail, and you can drill down into each location's map to get a better understanding of the current health. You can see here the health alert status, peak bandwidth usage, and total consumption details. Remote the remote network dashboard, you see the site list tab. In the site list, uh, this tab lists all your remote network sites and their details. The site list tab contains the widgets like status distribution. You can view the number of sites configured for your remote networks and the real-time status in this widget. This is a color-coded display, the severity of status, and you can click on the color. For example, for the warning, if you click on the screen, it will show you the number of all the upsides, and the red will show you down. You can click and it will show the numbers down. Aggregate bandwidth. Aggregate bandwidth shows you the consumption over time. Um, you can view the trend here, aggregate bandwidth consumption across all your remote networks. You can switch between the average, egress, ingress, and peak, and total site tab display an overview of all the sites. You can click any of the site name and you can go into the details of each of the sites and drill down further. IPSec termination node. You can see here the IPSec termination node in the site list, total site list tab. In the widget, once you click on that, it will open up and you can see here the compute locations to open the IPSec termination node utilization, a detailed window which displays the bandwidth consumption details of each of security processing node in the site. The remote network environment where aggregate bandwidth is not deployed, IPSec termination node compute location aggregate bandwidth allocated columns do not display as they are not applicable in this scenario. Mobile users. Another very important dashboard is the mobile users, which gives you the consumption licenses, all the allocated. You can um, look for here the IPP utilization and issues notification about your environment for mobile users. Trends of connected users, so you can access the peak utilization uh, at any time. It helps you to give you the data and helps you to for the capacity planning um, and information about the each user and connection, what authentication method you are using, how the GP distribution is. Let's have a look into the dashboard and go into the details. Mobile users dashboard also has the three tabs. You can see here monitoring summary, map view, and mobile user list. In the monitoring summary, you can see here the users um, different sections which are divided by the top um, alerts by severity, And you can see the warning sign if the mobile user is approaching to the 80% license limit. Mobile users widget shows the number of unique mobile users logged in 90 days. Connected users trend graph shows you the number of active users at a particular time. And the version distribution, it also shows you the distribution of GP app versions for new connections. This data can be used to enforce compliance with the latest GP app versions. It also shows the total number of new connections, a specific time range. A connection is basically a combination of a unique user ID, GP app version, and the OS platform. You can see here, this section the widget will show you the IP pool reaching the maximum capacity. This allows you to monitor IP pool utilization. This is a real-time bar graph uh, which shows the IP pool utilization by different IP pool allocation theaters based on the number of connected user at a time. The IP pool utilization percentage graph is the number of IP pool blocks utilized out of all IP pool blocks and that are available across all the subnets. You can take proactive actions by adding subnets when you see an IP pool bar is approaching the maximum capacity for any region. When you observe the IP pool utilization reaching to maximum, you can add. And this is really useful information. Mobile users licenses information consumption wheel statics on the mobile users licenses consumed in this widget. You can see the total number of licenses and unique users. Um, the next tab is a map view. You can check all mobile users gateway status and their location on this map. You can see here the green icon shows the name of the user's location from where the users are connected. You can hold the mouse on any of the mobile user location to see the number of unique users connected. Click on the app location and you can see the flight path of n mobile users connected to the particular gateway. The data on the map depends on the data point you have selected in a logging timeline. Mobile users list tab in the mobile user dashboard. It gives you um, a lot of great information. You can see here unique mobile users connected, last login time, their Prisma Access location, and the last Prisma Access locations. You can see the trend graph shows unique users at each data point. You can hover the mouse to get the count at a specific user's a specific time. This data gets updated based on the data point you select in the graph. Unique mobile users connection show details like last login time. Prisma Access location shows you the different number of gateways location location same users connected to, OS information, GP app version, and what authentication method they are using. Last login. The connect method column, as mentioned, shows whether the user is connected to the Prisma Access using the GP or the explicit proxy. The column displays in this tab, if you selected the connect method, GP or explicit proxy, it will be selected. If you are not using explicit proxy, those columns will not be shown here. And you can also search for the specific mobile users you can by entering in the above uh, their username in search and get all those details. Service connection. With the Prisma Access 2.2, we have um, added a service connection dedicated dashboard for the service connection where you can see the overall status of service connections, tunnels, bandwidth consumption over time, issues notifications about the environment to ensure the service availability in your Prisma Access environment. The service connection dashboard, you can see here the two tabs here, the monitoring summary and the service connection list. Monitoring summary tab gives you an overview of the health of your service connections. get the status of your service connections such as alerts, status of Prisma Access location, tunnels, bandwidth utilization. You can see the top 5 alerts by severity, um, and even most of the alerts associated with the service connections. Um, Deployed Prisma Access locations icons, color coded for your convenience so that you can see the status of service connection at each location at a glance. You can hover the mouse over the icon and get the actual statistics. Service connection tunnel status widget shows you the total number of service connection and the tunnels which are associated with it. The top 5 most active Prisma Access locations widget allows you to access the bandwidth utilization for the top 5 Prisma Access locations whose service connections are most active. Service connection list. This tab lists all of your service connection and their status. You can see here the status distribution, bandwidth consumption over time, and the total service connection. Status distribution, you can get the health status of all of your service connections in this widget. Circular chart in this widget, color coded, as you can see here, and distributed how many service connections are up, down, or need your attention. Um, Aggregated bandwidth over time. This is over time trend widget which shows you the aggregated bandwidth consumption by all of your service connections as well as their average peak utilization. You can um, check here if you want to look at average tunnel ingress or peak, what information you're looking, and the total service connection. Um, this widget shows a display uh, details about service connections such as remote IP addresses and how many tunnels are associated with it. Prisma Access Insights uses interface display up to 10,000 records in this table. If you have more than 10,000 records, you can view them by exporting the tab, exporting the table in the CSV, and you can filter it. Prisma Access Locations. Prisma Access Location dashboard shows the tabular list of all the onboarding Prisma Access locations from Prisma Access, either Prisma Access remote networks, mobile users, or both. You can export the list to the CSV format for the reporting purpose. The dashboard has the 2 tabs. You can see Prisma Access Location Status for remote networks, Prisma Access Location Status for the mobile users. Remote network graph widget shows you the status for all of your remote networks. And again, this is a color coded which represents the network which are up, down, and have warnings that may need your attention. The bar graph shows top 5 Prisma Access locations. The mobile users widget shows the status of all global protect locations that the mobile user is connected to. And the chart here represents the Prisma Access locations for those gateways. You can hover your mouse and see all the information. Um, Again, if you select GP or Global Protect in the connect method, you see only widget for the mobile users. And if you have selected explicit proxy, you will see only explicit proxy. If you have selected both, you will be able to see the both information. The next is the CDL Connectivity Status. This tab gives you the visibility into the Cortex data lake or serial connectivity health status from all your Prisma Access instances for the serial region, which you have selected during your Prisma Access licensing activation or onboarding. It helps you to determine if your firewalls have disconnected from the CDL and the firewall logs are no longer being obtained. Each tenant can connect to only one Cortex data lake in any region of its choice. Insight polls the CDL database every 5 minutes to check connectivity between the nodes, mobile users, remote network, service connection, and the CDL database. This widget display overall connectivity status from each node type, remote network, service connection, mobile users to CDL. You can see here each widget contains the ring chart. The number displayed in this chart represents the total number of Prisma Access locations from where the nodes connect to the CDL. Each location could further have one or more firewalls or nodes in it. The status of the concerns are shown in the real time. Time range filter does not apply to these widgets. The color coded based on how many remote sites, mobile users, service connections are currently um, connected, disconnected, or partially disconnected. Connected means when all the firewalls in the region are connected to the CDL. Disconnected when all the nodes are in the region are disconnected to the CDL. Partially connected when one or more firewall or nodes in the region are disconnected from the CDL. And you can get further details in the CDL. Once you click on the down arrow next to the location, once you click on it, you will see here the total disconnect charts underneath this. You can use the time range filter to see the data in the chart for a specific time range. Disconnections are counted by the number of times nodes instances at the location got disconnected. For example, if a node or a firewall was disconnected, then connected and disconnected again, the number of disconnection would be counted as 2. If you would like to see a specific node type in this location that has disconnected, you can click on the Prisma Access location name and go into the detailed page for that location and then select a node type to filter the data. Tunnels dashboard. Tunnel tabular list shows the details of each site and the tunnels. The tunnel names are retrieved from the Prisma Access configurations. Clicking anywhere on the circle, you will see the tunnel status distribution, our trend line, aggregated tunnel connectivity over time, which creates condition in the filter that sorts the data in the tunnel table. Tunnel state distribution, the widget shows you all the tunnels that you have configured for your remote networks and mobile users and their status. You can hover the cursor over the circle and in these charts to see how many tunnels are up, down, and have issues with them. Aggregate tunnel connectivity, this table shows you an overview of each tunnel associated with your Prisma access location. Disconnections column displays the number of disconnections the tunnel has experienced in a given time range, and the duration displays and data in seconds. Alerts dashboard. As IT admin, Alert dashboard gives you the visibility into the Prisma Access service availability and the infrastructure upgrades. You will get insights into all alerts generated and their severity levels, which will give you the understanding which ones are actionable or not. Prisma Access alerts when something is not right in your environment. Alerts detail describe the issue, give you the context, and guide you to a resolution. Alert also let you know if there is an issue impacting the Prisma Access cloud infrastructure so that you are aware of the Prisma Access. A team is working on a fix. Prisma Access Insights also enables you to set up an alert notification so that you can receive alerts directly in your email. So all the Prisma Access alerts provide basically two types of alerts. One is environmental alerts, another one is upgrade notification alerts. In the environmental alerts, which describe the status of your Prisma Access environments by especially if something is not working as expected. It generates alerts when issues raised and also when it's resolved so that you know it's been addressed. You cannot manually resolve those alerts. An alert is only considered resolved when the issue is triggering the alert has been fixed. Upgrade notification alerts you when upcoming software upgrades and status of the for the upgrades are in progress or completed. And you can subscribe to those alerts. Prisma Access Insights enables you to set up alert notification so that you can receive alert notification in your email. You can add email address in the settings here. go to the alert subscription, and you can here add users. The users you are adding here should be the member of the customer support portal. For the multi-tenant, you should select the tenant for which you want to receive the email alert. Alert notification email describe the issue, impacts, include the link to the insights for the further investigations needed. And once you subscribe to those alerts, you will receive the no reply at paloaltonetworks.com. The email will be coming from this email. And this is how the email will look like, which describes the alert type, it's high alert, critical, impacted sites, tunnel, if tunnel issues, details all there. And that's all about the Prisma Access Insights for today. If you have any questions, please feel free to post in a Q&A, and we will be happy to answer. And here I will hand over to Wendy. Over to you, Wendy.
Great, perfect. Thank you so much, Karam. So just to wrap this up, I wanted to go over some useful information and reminders. So just wanted to give everybody a quick reminder. I spoke on this earlier on, but just wanted to let everybody know that today's content is available online. Like I mentioned earlier, everything is available on Live Community. So if you're looking for today's recording, you can go to Live Community and we'll be uploading that there. Also, please subscribe to Prisma Access Insights for important notifications. And like I said earlier, we have a new spring webinar series that will be ready for you all to essentially register to them. Again, Palo Alto Network status, please make sure that you subscribe to get updates. You can go to status.paloaltonetworks.com, and there you can get a lot of great updates on that. Also, like I mentioned earlier, Tech Docs is a great resource for you all. This will help you gather not only release information, but also information that is very relevant to everything pretty much you saw today will be available at Tech Docs. Also, another reminder to subscribe to Prisma Access Insights for upgrade related notifications. There you will be able to gather all of the updated information and news on all of our releases. And like I mentioned earlier today, our customer support portal, it's available for you all for any technical support and more. Or turnaround is very quick, so highly encourage you all to create a case if there's anything that needs help with. Next week's topic will be Cloud Managed Prisma Access. This will be happening on Wednesday, January 19 at 8 a.m. Pacific time. So we are getting towards the end of our winter webinar series, so please feel free to register to any of those topics. All right, we're going to go ahead and look at the Q&A questions that you all may have and hopefully get those addressed. Let me take a look real quick.